you like white guys?
I love white guys.
What time?
8 o'clock.
7.
7:30.
6:45.
6:55. Got a date.
Spider's starting to work.
Okay.
All right.
Are you
What are you
ready?
doing, baby?
I'm gonna put a wig on.
You're gorgeous.
What?
You're gorgeous.
With this hair?
You're beautiful. Look at your face. You are gorgeous.
Honey, thank you. But with this, I'm not going to church like this. I need to put on something.
Why?
This hair is called
You just got
Metianting Chain. Metianting Chain. Do you mean from Metianting Chain when
Trust me, nobody at our church will know it's Mickey Chinking.
What's your type?
I like white boys. White men.
What's your opinion? What's the difference between dating a white guy and a black guy in your opinion?
From my personal experience, I feel white men know how to treat a lady.
So you're basically saying black men don't know how to treat a woman?
That's not what I said. I'm saying from my personal experience, the white men have treated me better.
If I was in front of my younger self today, this is what I would tell myself. I would tell myself this. Date outside your race, and who gives a fuck what anybody thinks?
I've noticed that anytime a black woman dates outside her race, the internet suddenly gets heated. Some people say she hates black men. Others say she has betrayed her culture. Then there are those who say she's chasing something. But unfortunately, they forget to ask why she did that. Or why is it their business? Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bernadette if you're new here. And here we break down viral TikToks with context, honesty, and no sugarcoating. So today we are going to react to TikTok clips discussing why some black women choose to date outside their race. We have creators who are giving their reasons as to why they chose or why they are choosing to date outside their race. So we are going to watch these TikToks together, understand, then we shall break them down. So hit that like button and let's get started.
So I really post about my husband. My husband and I have been together for 10 years almost and been married for 5. I have said that before. But one thing I don't always mention is he's white. I don't think that even matters. But when I get comments from time to time about my husband being white and now I'm a sellout, that's crazy to me because last time I checked, we don't live in the 50s and 60s anymore. But one thing I'm going to let you know is that being with a white man is the best decision of my life. I left those ninjas a long time ago. I found to be very, very true that white men are better providers and they have a lot more income. And you can talk about the systemic racism and things like that. That's not it. What I didn't like about the black men is that it was always full of drama. It was always full of baby mama issues, and I was not about that life anymore. I'm still black. I still have black issues and everything, but you know what I don't have is drama. That is what I don't have. So I'm proud to be with my white husband, my white cupcake, my big fluffy teddy bear.
Okay, let's talk. Because this whole summer up until now has been wild. I only been dating outside my race, y'all. And I'm not going to lie, the bar has been continuously getting raised higher and higher and higher every time I go on a date, every time I go outside, every single. Real dates, real conversation, real effort, real energy, everything that I used to hope for, I just go outside and that shit happens automatically. Before y'all get in y'all feelings, I'm not saying that it's over for black men and me altogether. I'm not closing that door completely, but what I will honestly say is it's gonna take a certain type of black man to scoop me up. Like it just is what it is. The way I've been treated these past couple months, like I'm very spoiled right now. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm spoiled. Like right now, I'm pouring into myself. I'm getting poured back into. I'm not begging nobody. I'm not chasing nobody, begging for basic ass shit. Like, and only one thing has changed. And it's the races that I've been.
You know what? I typically don't over-explain myself when it comes to these topics, but I will for this instance because you've asked so politely. Your question is, why did you end up with a white man in the first place? Nothing wrong with it, but if you're comfortable in your own skin, would you not want your daughter to look like you? I think it's a reasonable question, not necessarily one I have to answer, but I will. I think a couple of things have contributed to this. Number one, I grew up in a household where it wasn't kind of pushed to me that I had to be with someone of a certain culture or race. That wasn't like heavily pushed. It was more so like, find someone who makes you happy, make sure that they respect you, make sure that they're, you know, that you have things in common, all the rest of it. So I think that's partly to do with it. I think another part to do it with it is also that I met my partner really quite young, met my partner just after my 19th birthday. Although I had dated before him, like that was my person, and I stuck with him, and we're married, and I'm really happy. And obviously at the time of like meeting him and growing and developing a relationship and stuff like that, I wasn't super pro children. Like I just wasn't pro children. I think that's part of meeting your partner really young. You're still kind of like figuring out certain things and you're learning, you're growing together. You've also said if you're comfortable in the skin you're in, wouldn't you want your daughter to look like you? Yeah, and she kind of does. At that point, do you leave someone you love for the sake of that? I don't know. In my mind, it didn't justify it.
I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but the reason why the dynamic between black women and other races of men, and it definitely white men and black women, is because they treat us like human beings and they actually treat us like women. I'm gonna say it again. So the reason why the dynamics of white men and black women work so beautifully and cohesively together is because white men treat black women like women. They don't treat us like a mammy. And don't get me wrong, I know the history. I know that some of them fetishize. I understand it. But for the ones who truly and deeply and solely love their women, their black girlfriends and their black women, it's because they see them as women and treat them as such and spoil them as such.
If you ask me why I am dating a white man, black men do not come up in the topic. Okay? And if I would have known showing that my boyfriend was white was gonna cause so much ruckus, I wouldn't have done it. It has opened me up to the most foul, disgusting comments and commentary from strangers that I don't know and don't know me. I had a DM from a man talking about you should be ashamed. You're just this beg wench, blah, 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 blah. Go to his page, 3 biracial children. What are we doing? Let me just set the record straight. I never said that white men were my preference. White men are not my preference. A man who treats me right, who's nice to me, who has aligned goals, you know, who's on the same page of what I want in life, that is my preference. It doesn't matter. This time last year, I was dating a black man. So let's just like squash that. You asked me why I'm currently with my partner who just happens to be a white man. We matched on a dating app. We had really good conversations. 2 days later, we went on a date. And after that, we have been consistently going on dates. And then he asked me to be his girlfriend. A lot of the times, some of the times, when the roles are reversed, it's always I'm not with a black woman because of XYZ. Please do not bunch me into that. That is not what's going on in here. You can scroll on my page. You will never see it over here. The end goal should be just finding someone that makes you happy, correct? So like, what are we talking about?
So I made a post about my interracial relationship and my thoughts or concerns that I had for my boyfriend. Like, do you know what you're getting yourself into, having a black woman on your arm? And I posted that, it got viral. I'm so happy to see so many black women getting out of their dating pool to find someone. The funny thing is, I was never ever bashing black men, but for some reason, of course, it triggered them. Oh, I don't like wigs anyway. Oh, white men can have you. They will always look at you like slaves. It's like, that's the key though. They don't. And I saw so many women that have been married to a white man and they're so happy. They're having kids, they're having a family. He's taking care of them. He nurtures them. He provides for them. Like, I feel like it's so weird that why can't you just be happy for your black sisters finding love? It's a white man, a black man, an Asian man, an Indian man. Like, who cares? Who cares? But for some reason, obviously, black men got triggered that me as a black woman is having a good relationship with a white man who actually treats me good and right. Our relationship is not perfect, but I know what respect is. I know what love is. And I know what appreciation is. And because he makes me feel valued, appreciated, seen, and he's been consistent since day one. He claimed me after our 4th date. He was like, yeah, we need to delete Tinder. It's you and me, baby. And I was like, okay. I just want to say this to all ladies. Doesn't matter what race the guy you're falling for is, go where you are appreciated, okay? If you're feeling like I have so much trauma dating, for example, Indian man or black man or Asian man, whatever, try something new. Try something new. Just because you have always dated that race doesn't mean like you can't find love outside that race. Know what I mean? Give it a chance. Give Tinder a chance. Start to swipe on the white boys, for example, if that is what you want to try. I'm just happy to see my black sisters in relationships with white men, getting married to white men, all say the same thing. They are appreciated, they are seen, they are protected. He could not wait to claim them. Go where you are appreciated, and you will find love. I just love seeing my black sisters getting the treatment they deserve, being stress-free. Keyword, stress-free. And for all the black men who came for me like, oh, they can have you, they can have your wigs. You are the reason why she find love out of her race. Black men like you bashing your black sisters for dating a white man. I just gotta say, we're happy over here. We are stress-free, we are cared for, we are thriving. So you should be happy for us, and we are happy for you if you find love. So that's all I wanna say.
Good afternoon, freaks and weirdos out there. Pardon me here, guys. I look oily as fuck, but I'm just doing a deep conditioning of my skin. But welcome back, guys. We got another fabulous episode here of the Curvy Metalhead Show. Now, this is a question that I noticed that some black men are asking because recently, but come on guys, like black women and white men have been dating each other for quite some time, being in whether dating or getting married, just long-term relationships or just relationships in general. So I'm going to answer the question, and I'm going to keep it real, okay? The real reason why black women and white men are really starting to get together more than usual. Now, the first reason is that many black women, we are left to be seen as undesirable. Let me explain. Now, this is coming from my experience as being a darker complected African black person here, okay? What I noticed a lot of times, and this is just with the black men that I liked, was overall they would tell me, they'd be like, look, I like your personality, you know, I like how, you know, how you treat me, but I prefer, there was a preference for lighter complected women, or I find lighter complected women more attractive. So this would happen to me, guys, a lot, and I'm talking fucking a lot. And it got to the point where I was just like, well, if, you know, the black men that I'm interested in don't like me for my skin tone, then, you know, I'm going to keep myself open-minded. And then that's when I started to notice that a lot of white guys really liked me, and specifically older white men, because you guys know I like the older white chocolate as the example, okay? And a lot of times, like, there's this assumption that, like, oh, black women are only getting with white men because of fetish reasons. That's not it at all. Like, it's just the way that, you know, some white men approach us. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, you know, because I've been treated like a fetish, you know, it happens, but it depends on the quality of man, okay? And I would say the last reason that more black women are going for white men is because they're making themselves available to us, whether we have dark skin, light skin, or in between. They don't really care about the colorism issue. So that, I feel that's the reason. But you guys let me know what you think.
Or with a white man is happy.
This is a really great video, and I highly suggest that you watch the original Stitch and the next Stitch, which is with a dating coach who has helped black and brown women find successful love. I love the fact that we are now getting more positive information and data regarding interracial relationships, especially looking at black women who date white men. Hi, my name is Bridget. I'm a global storyteller, and I'm also in an interracial relationship with a white man. For as long as I can remember, in middle school and high school, I've always been very open to dating eccentric different people and people outside of my race. I was born in Italy and my family was from Ghana, and we were immigrants to the United States. And you can only imagine how more open-minded we were about dating or trying new things that were outside of our comfort zone. And so for as long as I can remember, when I had crushes on Hispanic people, on European people, on African American men, all sorts of folks. But it was always so challenging for me to receive the love back from black men. I was constantly looked at as the immigrant, as the girl who talked too white, someone who was African, and all of these were negative traits that more African American women who were born in the US probably didn't have. And so dating for me from middle school, high school, and into college was extremely challenging. But I was always made fun of for sort of going to where people loved me. And that was most of the time European men. It was without a doubt that I was constantly sought after or wanted to be talked to or was found interesting by European men or even just international men. And I felt that I was not sort of receiving the same love from black men. Or anytime I talked about having these crushes or wanting to get to know these white men or European men, I was always sort of made to be fun of and always sort of looked at as going against the black race. And so a lot of my dating experiences with black men were challenging. As an immigrant, as someone who was still learning what blackness meant to her when she just moved to the US about 5 to 6 years ago, it felt more natural for me to connect with immigrants, to connect with people who were from the places that I was born, people who had worldly experiences, who just traveled around the world, and that tended to be European men. And I can't even explain to you how much I was loved. Now, granted, I couldn't travel outside of the US, and so I was mostly dating or meeting international men who were here for foreign exchange students. And it felt like they were just in love with me, my full self. And it didn't feel like that when I was with black men. I felt that I was always in competition with other black women, African American women, and it never should have been as such. But I never felt like I was in the running for a serious relationship with black men. Long story short, I'm in a wonderful relationship with my partner. We're going on close to 4.5 years, and we're building a life together. We are building wealth together. We're building a community together. And I just want to challenge black women to think outside the box. Go where the love is.
Okay, so I had this man DM me. He said, why are black women all of a sudden interested in dating outside their race? They have never expressed interest in white men before. Why all of a sudden the interest? I'm gonna be real, you know what I mean? Like, we've always found, you know, men outside of our race attractive. Like, if you find, you find. Anybody with eyes can see that. You know what I mean? However, the interest, in my personal opinion, is you grow tired. Like, if you want change in your life, you have to make a change. regardless of whatever the scenario is. If you want change, you have to make a change. So if you've been dating one way your entire life, and as we are all sitting here very single and unmarried, that means it's time for you to switch up your dating strategy, switch up this, switch up that, do something. So why dating outside your race couldn't be something else that we switched up, right? Because when I started to abstain from sex, y'all praised me for it. That's a change that I made. When I started standing on my boundaries, expectations, all these things, y'all praised me for it. That's a change that I made. But dating outside my race is being questioned. Come on, cut it out. Cut it out. And then also, we heard white men treat their women better. That's just what we heard. And we want to be treated good. So go ahead and add us to the list. You know, y'all a little bit softer, a little bit more gentle. You know, y'all honor and respect, you know, communication and kindness and all these things that black women are not used to receiving. So we want to see what that be like. We already been drugged through the mud. We already did that. We're getting older. We're growing tired. And we want to be loved on and treated right and provided for and all these things. That's where the sudden interest came. We always had interest, let's be clear. But that's where the sudden action came from. We decided to make a move because we were tired of receiving crumbs from the Negroes that we was dealing with. Hello.
Yeah, so I wanted to put my 2 cents on the whole why is black women more appreciative, or why they going for white men? Well, shit, I don't have a white man yet, but let me tell you, my experiences of dating, I had me a white man one time, and baby, it didn't last too long, because that was my decision, because I was young and dumb. But let me tell you, it was amazing. I never in my 27 years had experienced a black man opening doors for me, you know, cherishing, telling me what do I want and need. Instead, I'm always the one, when I date my kind, I gotta ask them what do they want and need. You know, I'm the girl. Yes. So that's why I feel like, in my opinion, why we as black women are choosing the other kind. Okay? Because we want to feel like the woman. But you know, the crazy part is, us as black women, we be thinking, okay, if I keep trying with this black man, maybe he'll understand my worth. But honestly, if you don't know by now, ladies, he knows your worth. He just don't want you. He wanna feel like he done win it all. He wanna feel like, you know, a king. So that's why he go choose Becky. Because why? When he done accomplish himself, college degree, good job, walking around with a suit, now he feel like you the maid. You're not good enough for him. But if he has a blonde, if he has a, you know, Maria, maybe society would look at him better. And it's just like, he don't remember the time when you used to be the one helping him with them job application. He don't remember when he used to be, you know, in college, barely have $1 to get a apple pie at McDonald's. You were holding him down. That will never sit right in my system, because it's like, I'm speaking from experience. You will sit here and be Mr. Mrs. Build a beer, build a nigga, build a man. And then when he done build up, he go and find what he truly want. And you just like, and you over here sitting there sad. And then when a billionaire white man, when a white man who knows your value, that you never really in your lifetime had the idea of being with, but you're like, you know, I've been being a maid for too long. So you decided, you know what, I'm gonna give Bobby a chance. I'm gonna give Josh a chance. And Josh will kiss your foot. Josh will show you the world. You're like, damn, I never felt love like this before. And you know why? You deserve that love. You can't be ashamed of that love, because you know why? That love was always for you. Fuck the skin. You know, because I'm telling you, that same man who you used to give that love to, he knew how to give you that love. He doesn't want to give it to you because he felt like you weren't queen, you know, status. But he thought Becky was queen status because Becky, when Becky get up in the morning, she don't gotta fucking, you know, brush her hair. Her hair is silky, you know. Becky don't gotta, you know. Becky just, I don't know. Becky's just Becky. But even me, I feel like shit. I get up and looking beautiful, especially because I'm locked. I feel like shit. I'm one of a kind. I'm a one of a kind beast. But you know, to each his own. People like what they like. And I feel like it's not because they don't love us, because they love us for sex. They love us to make babies. They love us to, you know, tell the bros, oh, I hate that. But when it's time to give the ring, shit, they'll make you suffer. They'll make you carry the cross like you're Jesus Christ before you get that ring. Or they'll give you 5-10 babies, then be like, you know what? I guess I'll settle down with this. But as soon as they meet Becky, and Becky done show them to their parents, guess what? They already got marriage in their brain. Please, if you a black man, let me know why do black women gotta go through that with y'all? Why can't we meet your parents? Why can't we go on the nice dates with y'all? Meet the parents. But you just met Becky 2 months. You just met Becky 2 weeks ago, and y'all already planning to meet the family. Y'all already planning life together. But when it comes to, you know, Manushka, when it comes to Bianca, it's a different story. You know, why is that? But anyways, I feel like that rich billionaire, he was right. He was totally right. Black women are for, you know, for real men that knows what they want. Why? Because as a black woman, because we have to endure so much, guess what? Some of us, even from like being age 10, 12, we already done suffer so much trauma, whether it's from our own family, whether it's from dating, not 10 years old, but from dating like maybe 17, 18, middle school, high school. You already feel so much trauma just from little dates from stupid little boys in school. That after that you already so fucking grown mentally. You already know, like, okay, I can't fuck around anymore. I can't do this. So yes. So when you do reach in your 20s, you're like, it ain't time for fucking around. You know, it's time for real stuff now. So yes, we deserve real, genuine men that knows what they want. Okay? I'm over here walking in the morning and then people looking at me staring. Because, you know, I'm talking the truth. And even me as a black woman, I be on the street, and honestly, no young black man my age will be like, wow, what a beautiful girl. But best believe I go near the white people, they're like, wow, I love your hair, I love your attitude, you know? And it's just like, why can't I get this love from my brothers? Why can't I get this love from, you know? Nah, but I 9 out of 10 would get the love from a black man saying, ooh, you got the nice ass, sorry. Ooh, oh babe. Or from my Haitian man, ooh, chérie, belle petite fille noire, you know? And it's just like, back in slavery days, they used to always sexualize us as black women. Why do us in 2024 gotta still be sexualizing our black women? Why? No, I wasn't crying. This is just a touchy subject, because I could honestly tell you, I lived through this in my 27 years of life. It's like, yo, when is enough gonna be enough? And shit, I don't blame a black woman for going the other route. Look, what was the word? Love is love. You go find whoever love you. You okay? Because, you know, research do show that black women are the only race where the lowest one are getting married. Why? Because most black men, after they done leave you like a fucking, like you need to go to a nursing home in your 30s, you done mentally stressed, you done tire out all your energy on him. Now he go for Becky. You know? You mentally drained. You need therapy now, but some black women won't even go to therapy. Now you mentally fucked up in the head. Now when it's time for you to actually meet a good man, you're nervous to even actually talk to the good man because you're like, shit, he might do me wrong too. But he ain't even gonna do you wrong, but you just don't know right and wrong anymore. You don't know how to differentiate the two. Anyway, the time is running out. I gotta go. But leave them black women alone who are getting a ring after being slaved by y'all. Okay? Leave their asses alone because shit, you sure wasn't. You was not about to give her a ring. So why the fuck do you care that she's happily now? Why? Y'all are some of y'all are very narcissistic. Some of y'all are very, I don't know, sick. Leave this woman happy.
Yeah, so right there we have most of these ladies saying that they date who treats them right. It doesn't matter of someone's race. They just choose to date whoever treats them right. And that is a very valid point. A lot of black women date outside their race because they are tired of auditioning for basic decency. They are tired of being strong instead of being cherished. Tired of being told to hold a man down while their own is being unmet. And this is not anti-black men. This is just pro-self. If I find someone who is not of my race and he treats me better, of course, I will go for that one, not just looking at him as maybe being white, Asian, or brown. No, I look at the way that person treats me. And that is the same thing with the black women who choose to date outside. Some also are talking about emotional availability and effort. This is another strong point to look into. Let's say the quiet part out loud. Some black women experience more consistent effort when they date outside their race. At least from the experiences or from the views of most of them, this is one of the reasons as to why they prefer to date outside their race. Of course, it's not like it's all perfection and not also magic, but it's just the effort that the person they decide to date puts in. If you're dating someone who takes back, plans dates, emotionally present, shows accountability, and once you experience that, it's hard not to see the bare minimum which you were taught to tolerate. Some also say they choose to date outside their race because of burnout from struggle love. I think struggle love has been romanticized in the black community like it's a badge of honor. Black women were raised to believe that love is supposed to be hard, sacrificial, and painful. So some eventually say that I don't want to build a man, I want to partner with one. And suddenly, that is controversial. One thing about the black women, they will always choose their own first before they think of going outside the race. Especially those who were like raised within the black community, went to black schools. Most of them really treasure to be with their own men. But because of how things get and what they go through, they decide to go and try outside their race. I think someone talked about this, the kind of environment and access. Yeah, although it's an inconvenient truth, but access matters. If you're educated, traveling, working in corporate or global spaces, your dating pool obviously changes. Dating outside your race isn't a statement. If you are in such areas, it's so easy to date outside your race because most of the people that you meet or you work with may be people from different races. For example, if you are like in the US, then you're posted like in Europe, any country in Europe where there are no many people of your race who are working within there. Obviously, you will always be in the spaces of other races. And yeah, love is natural. So when nature comes in and the chemistry happens, obviously, you'll end up with someone outside your race. Then some women also say they chose peace over loyalty. It's true. Some Black women realize that they have been loyal to men, communities, and narratives that were not loyal back. So they choose peace, and peace looks like whoever treats them well. If you've always been told be loyal to your own Black community, of course everyone wants that. But when you feel like you are being loyal to some people or to someone, and then for them they are not loyal to you, you're not receiving the loyalty back, it means that something is off. And then if you decide to choose peace, you may find that peace outside your race, and hence going for that. That doesn't mean that that Black woman is betraying her community, but it's just that she's choosing herself, or she has realized that she needs to choose herself other than just looking at the loyalty to the community. That doesn't give back the loyalty. Another reason is, this is in relation to the struggle kind of love that I talked about. Some Black women choose to date outside their race because of the experiences within their own culture. Some Black women describe feeling undervalued, stereotyped, or facing colorism, sexism, or rigid gender expectations in parts of the Black dating pool. And you heard some ladies talking about this. So dating outside their race may feel like a chance to avoid those patterns. Individual life stage and priorities. Some Black women choose to date outside their race because as priorities shift, that is career stability, family goals, people may broaden their dating preferences to include partners that they had previously hadn't considered. Another reason as why Black women choose to date outside their race is because of the shift in cultural norms. Interracial dating is more socially accepted today than in the past. Younger generations, in particular, often feel freer to cross racial and cultural lines without as much stigma as before. However, at the end of the day, most Black women still date Black men. So before judging the why, maybe ask yourself why Black women's happiness is always up for debate. So I will end this right here. And if this video gave you a new perspective, hit like and drop your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and let's meet in the next video.